Hey, welcome to Colorado Pinball Collective's new Twitch channel. Our whole purpose here is to help grow the community of pinball, expose people that maybe to pinball machines that maybe don't have them on location. And every week, every Tuesday at this point, we're going to be featuring a different table and doing a tutorial for beginners, for intermediate players, and the advanced player as well. How to play it for high score or for a tournament. So I thought for the first episode we'd go around and we would introduce ourselves, and we're going to start with Bill.
My name is Bill Reeves. I am from New Jersey, Philadelphia area. I'm an Aries.
Turn-ons, go on.
I started playing pinball growing up by the Jersey Shore. The boardwalk has all the arcades on up and down the shore, so that's how I started playing. Kind of fell out of it during high school and college, and then moved to Denver with my now wife, and there's a great location here in Denver, and got to meet everybody and get back into it. So that's, now I've got the bug.
Sweet. Was there a first game?
It was World Cup Soccer or Theater of Magic. I can't remember exactly which one, but the one that got me back into it when I moved to Denver was Theater.
That's why you always choose it when we played at the
Yeah,
bar.
if you ever meet me in a tournament, I'm probably going to choose it if it's there.
All right, Chase.
Hey y'all, I'm Chase Hart. I moved to Capitol Hill and opened, and so that became my regular hangout, and there's so many machines there, and they're so beautifully maintained that I couldn't help but get myself a pinball addiction. That's where I met these characters. I played a little bit growing up, but didn't, have the quarter flow to maintain it. I think Funhouse is maybe the first machine I ever remember playing.
Oh, nice.
It was brutal, but
yeah,
there's an itch. So yeah, the two up now, the one up on Colfax, has nurtured my pinball enthusiasm.
Nice.
All right. Hi, everybody. My name's Joe. I got into pinball about 3 years ago, and I'm one of the rare people who started playing digital pinball first. So I had that on my iPad, played a lot of pinball on there, and then I moved on to the real thing and met all the usual suspects here, started going to tournaments and stuff like that. So it's been a quick decline in pinball addiction. But the first game I played a lot of in real life was probably Lord of the Rings. There was one of those that was routed in my neighborhood, so I played a lot of that. So that's kind of where I got started.
Nice. My name is Snow Galvin, and I only got started about 1.5 years ago. I did not grow up playing at all. I mean, I'm sure I did at a birthday party, maybe, but my husband did, and he loved Attack from Mars. He loved Addams Family, Medieval Madness, all the classic Williams ballets of the 90s. And so he had asked me what I thought about getting an Addams Family, and I said, yeah, we'll find room, no big deal. That sounds great. He wanted it forever. And so he brought it home, and I work from home. So once I saw that how complicated it is, I mean, the first time you open up a pinball machine and you see the guts, it's awesome. Like, it is just, it blows everyone's mind. And I was totally hooked when I discovered rules, like, make sense retrospectively, but I thought you just paid to keep the ball alive. And then I was on the Papa website. I was learning bounce passes, drop catches. I owe Bowen so much. And I still utilize those like almost daily, all of those tutorials. So so my first game was Addams Family, and we're all pretty hooked. We play together frequently, and so we thought, why not just do the same thing but on camera?
Put it on the internet.
Solution everything.
Yeah, so today we're going to go over the Simpsons Pinball Party, which is, let me grab this real quick, some of my notes. The reason I need notes is this is a Stern game from 2004, and it was, the software is by Keith Johnson. Keith Johnson is a genius, and also just it's so much. He did this table, he did Wizard of Oz, he did Lord of the Rings, he did The Hobbit, and those are all tables that you could spend a lifetime trying to play. And so we're only going to go over the main bullet points of this game because it's absolutely insane to figure out all the inner workings of this machine. But I'm going to walk you through the playfield right now and get acquainted with some of the shots on the table, because there are a lot. So here you have on the lower left-hand side of the playfield, we've got the light auto stand-up target. It's on the bottom of the left bumper that has the cooling stations from Homer's work, the nuclear power plant. Just above that is this target that is almost impossible to see, but it adds time to your about a little bit later. You can hit it from the upper right flipper, and it also is often hit from just bouncing around in the pops. Just above that is your left orbit, which is also known as the Cletus shot, because the whole playfield is the town of Springfield. So you have the nuclear power plant, that's where Homer works. You've got Cletus and back to Cletus's house. And then if you go up a little bit higher, then you'll see the comic book guy. And he's got a stand up there that where you collect hurry ups, and you can get to one of the mini wizard modes, which is called Secret Stash. Just above him, you'll see the left ramp, also known as the treehouse shot. That takes you up to the upper playfield. And right above that is this really tricky quickie mart shot that can be hit from your lower right flipper, or from your most easily from your upper right flipper. It's also a skill shot, and it's also your bonus multiplier. Also, floating above the Quickie Mart is the monorail ramp. It's has to do with one of the modes that you would play, and it took me forever to spot that because there's so much going on in the playfield that my husband finally pointed out the decal with the monorail on it. So that took me a while. And then there's also the Quickie Mart target, which is in between the little U-turn loop of the Quickie Mart. That target gives you just a random point value. It's not super lucrative, but it will, in certain modes, award you the Quickie Mart loop shot. Moving on to this cluttered center part of the playfield, you have the garage. That's where, Homer drives his car back home. To the right of that is the auto shot, which is also called the right loop, sometimes called Springfield Elementary, but we're going to be calling it auto. This awards a shot multiplier when lit, so you would hit that target at the base of the cooling station that we covered earlier. And it is an essential shot that you've got to learn because it's going to keep you alive in this game and get you a lot of points. Just to the right of that is the bully stand-up targets. There's 3 of them. You hit those, you complete that bank in order to light Daredevil modes. And that's going to be Daredevil's on the right side, the upper right side of the playfield, and that's at the captured ball where Bart is. And so right to the left, just to the left of the captive ball is Moe's. That's Moe's Tavern, which is the right ramp. And to the right of both of those is the spinner, which is Krusty the Clown. It's the right orbit. That shot is also very important as it lights your TV modes. TV modes being one of the essential components of this game for scoring points. Just below that, you have the itchy and scratchy drop targets and saucer. You knock down the bank of drop targets to light the saucer for multi-ball. Then you repeat that process to start a 2-ball itchy and scratchy multi-ball, of which there are 4. You see Spay Anything, Kitty Kitty Bang Bang, Field of Screams, Esophagus Now. They all pretty much play the same, and we'll go over those a little bit more in detail later, but that's an essential part of the game. And just below that and to the right is your skill shot light. Every time you step up to the game and you plunge at the start of your ball, and also anytime the ball falls into the plunger lane, which happens pretty often, you'll see that the skill shot light is on. At the start of your ball, you have in addition to your ball save, you have an opportunity to let it drain so long as your skill shot light is still flashing, and that's why I've pointed it out here on the screen. It's really good to make note of that shot. All right, let's go up top to the upper playfield. You'll see the couch, which is the orange, that's the orange sofa up there. That's your ball lock for the main multi-ball called couch multi-ball. And you have 2 green stand-up targets. Those are your light lock targets. Then you'll use the uppermost right flipper and the upper playfield to shoot the ball up the orange ramp and into the couch. That's the lock ramp or the couch ramp. Just to the right of that, you have the light mystery target. Mystery is at the garage, and that can be a really valuable thing to hit and to focus on, especially when you're in competition mode. Just to the right of that, beneath the television, is the mode start, and that's for all of your television modes. Here are the TV modes. There are 7 TV modes, and if you start all of those, then you'll be able to play the mini wizard mode, Alien Invasion. I recommend 3 modes in particular without having to cover everything. Homer's Day is really easy to complete, and Wiggum versus Snake, as well as Stop the Monorail, are great to play during multi-ball. You shoot the TV to start. And you can also cycle through the modes with the right flipper button to choose which mode you're going to start. All right, so I'm going to talk about the very basic beginner strategy if you don't know much about the table at all. And this is for high score or tournament. It's all pretty much the same on this. The most important thing about this table is on the TV is the timer. The timer is started primarily in 2 ways, and that's either with auto or by starting a TV mode. The timer starts at 30 seconds and it starts counting down. Ideally, what you want to do is not let your timer run out, because that is going to eliminate any point scoring that you could do while you're playing. And one of the great things about this table is virtually everything stacks on top of everything else. So you really just want to keep that running, which is why you want to really get that mode start down, the right orbit down, and that auto shot and light auto. Those 4 shots are just so essential to this game. You can add time to the clock by hitting that pop bumper target that I talked about earlier, which will happen anytime you hit the right orbit up into the pops. It's really often. You can also hit it with the upper right flipper. So that is the key to the game. In terms of the most basic strategy, I tried to simplify it as much as possible. There are 4 things that you want to do. So you want to stack modes. You can light a mode and start a mode, keep that timer going, and then you will be lighting more shots on the play field for more points. In addition to that, you'll be keeping your timer running with auto, which is your shot multiplier. That's also going to give you 2x scoring or double scoring on 1 shot is lit each time you hit it. But you can continue to stack those. So you could get it to the point where the entire playfield is 2 times scoring and you've got like 5 modes going. If you do that, you're my hero. But
we're going to do that very shortly.
That's right. You're totally going to see that. Not really. But no. But it is possible. And that's really essential to keep in mind those playfield or those shot multipliers when you're in multi-ball. So the couch multi-ball, for your first multi-ball, all 3 locks are lit. You shoot the couch ramp to lock a ball. You lock 3 balls to start. The point of that multi-ball supposedly is to get 5 super jackpots, which is getting the ball into the couch to actually complete it. You may see one. Get like a ton of points just by shooting the ball around, keeping auto going, starting a mode if you're cognizant of a ball in the upper playfield. But even better than that is to start itchy and scratchy with the 2-ball multi-ball. Because then you'll get 5 balls on the play field, and you'll be hitting some super big points. And again, to do the itchy and scratchy, knock down all the drop targets, get it in the saucer, that lights it. Do it again, knock down all the drops, get it back in the saucer, and that is going to start the multi-ball. With the super being lit in the saucer, but otherwise just hit all the lit shots. That's what you want to do. Beginner strategy: multi-balls, shot multipliers, play modes. So So with that, I am going to try to play it. So